Welcome back to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I am here with a very, very special author, writer, spiritual teacher. The guy who tells me he's not a preacher, but he preaches all the time. Okay, I know he's over here laughing. Rodney Jacobs.
Gosh.
Rodney Jacobs. I just got to say it because, here at the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, I'm bringing you healthy mind, body, family, finance, and community. And Rodney really kind of covers a whole lot of that. And one of the things that I'm really excited about with Rodney is that he's a stand for helping us with our teens with regard to suicide. So I want to introduce you to my friend, Rodney Jacobs. Thanks so much for being here, Rodney.
Thank you. You know what? You're so flattering.
Well, I'm just telling the truth.
Yes, you are. You always do. Ever since I've known you.
Okay.
And I had to get your name right after the 5th time. She fat.
You
got to say it right.
Yes.
You got to say it right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I thank you for having me today, not only for today, but just let me be part of your show, your life, and what you're doing. I want to commend you on all that you're doing. We just talked a little bit off tape about how professional you are, and I would just want to say, just keep being you.
Thank you.
Just keep being you.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
And so we're here today at the Connecting the Dots entrepreneurial event. It's a Carlos Davis brainchild, and I specifically invited Rodney to be here because he's a very wonderful spirit and an entrepreneur, and people just need to know him. So, Rodney, tell us about what you've got going on. You've got 2 books.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about recognizing God's call to you first. What happened?
Recognizing God's call to you came into existence due to I was in the United States Army at the time, which you know, and I was being treated in a way that a person should be treated. And in the military, you take orders, you don't give them. Being in the Sergeant First Class, which is a senior non-commissioned officer in the military, I felt that I was being mistreated. Well, anyway, one day I decided was told to report to this individual, and I ended up thinking that it was over. It was my last days, and I ended up having a nervous breakdown. So from that particular moment, God had came to me after I retired and says, "Hey, you're going to write a book." And I said, "Yeah, right." He says, "No, really, truly, you're going to write a book." And that's how Recognizing God's Call to You came to be. Recognizing God's Call to You is not just a book. It is a book of short stories that's not only talking to you, but it's talking to you, through you, and about you, because each story is only a page long. And in those stories, it's telling you not only about different parts of people's lives, but it's telling you a little bit about your own life. I have stories in there like Forrest Gump, Box of Chocolates, one of the titles. You never know what you're going to get. So those are the type of stories that are in there. There's one called about Hank Aaron.
Okay.
And it talks about how Hank Aaron was in the right season. See, he had to be in a right season in order for God to intervene so he can be who he was. And that was one of the Afro-American Major League Baseball players during a time where blacks weren't allowed to be in the major leagues. See, these are the type of stories that this particular book brings to the table.
Well, I've certainly been inspired by it, and I know many people have, and you've gotten some really great reviews.
Yes.
And so we're going to make that available to you, Recognizing God's Call to You. Now, let's jump over to Malika.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I want to talk about Malika, God's heavenly messenger, right? So tell us a little bit about Malika.
Malika is a little girl who is... Actually, the name is Swahili for Heavenly Messenger Angel. It was a group in Africa that wrote a song was called Malika, with the accent on the heavy on the A. Reason being is because it was about a love story. Well, the Heavenly Messenger in the love story actually was a Heavenly Messenger. So, but I took it and made it more spiritual intent. And the reason being is because of the suicide rate that's so alarming and out of control, and that we need to not only get a grasp on what's going on with our teens, but we have to understand our teens' mind thought, their pattern. What are they doing in their lives in order to want to commit suicide? The national average for suicide right now is 11.5. That's since 2011. There was $850 million spent in 2009 on suicide, but it's just not enough. See, we think that just because our government gets involved, that it's A-okay, but it's not. It's us, the parents, it's us, the clergy, it's us, the doctors, it's us, the next door neighbors. We have to know these signs in order for our kids to still be alive, in order to carry on a legacy for themselves. But Malika, what she does is she goes out and tells people these different things I'm telling you right now, and the angel appears to her and tells her that God's very upset about what's going on. And she continues and continues and continues. And towards the end, she says, believe in yourself because Jesus does. I didn't say Rodney. I didn't say Shifa. I said Jesus does. Because that is what our kids need to know, that Jesus really cares for them and who they are and how they are and what they are.
Powerful, powerful. Now, you are certainly an advocate for, or how do I say this, against teen suicide.
Yes.
So helping teens, parents,
Yes.
community cope with this epidemic.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So give the audience your information to contact you so that we can get a hold of your books.
Yes.
And you're also a speaker, not only an author, but you're also a speaker. So give us your information so that we can be in touch.
Well, the way you can get in touch with me, you can hit me on email. The email is thepowerofrestoring@gmail, again, at gmail.com. Or you can hit me up at the Power Restoring Books. Just Google the Power Restoring Books. That's the easiest way to do it. The Power Restoring Books. Google that, and it'll take you to my website. Not only to the website, it'll give you a lot of intriguing things that I have done. If you click on videos, I was on WBTV, Channel 3, talking about suicide, and the book signing that we had. There's just so much that it's been so good that it just keeps going forward, and you just have to embrace it in order to learn from it. And suicide is something that we need to start embracing and starting to learn from it so we can prevent. There's an article I keep, and I think I told you this before. It says, 9-year-old girl commits suicide due to the jealousy of a 3-month-old baby brother. 9. Should never be a doctor, a lawyer, politician, whatever. 9 years old. I was out playing. How about you?
That is heart-wrenching.
Yes, it is.
I want to thank you so much.
No, I want to thank you
for being on the show today and for sharing from your heart and bringing our attention to this really critical issue of teen suicide.
Very critical.
And also recognizing God's call to you so that we can each one step up into what God has called us to do. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
I
you're
appreciate
great.
you.
Nah, no problem.
Thank you, Rodney.
We'll see you again.
Thank you for watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. I'm your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, and we'll be right back.